Hello. I- we've been talking about feet because feet, as we age, get a little harder to take care of when you're trying to do long hikes and different kinds of things. And then this morning we plan on doing this 12-mile hike, which is fine. But then right before we left, I hit my foot. I don't know if you can see it or not. Here, let me move it. Yeah.
Look at that baby.
I broke my toe, I think. My little toe there. And,
Oh, it looks bad. So we're talking about...
So what I did was I took some ibuprofen and I wore my boots instead of my running shoes. And it was actually fine. I mean, it hurt a little bit, but it wasn't terrible. So I was able to do the whole hike, which then makes me think, maybe I should wear my boots on the trail just because they're kind of comfortable. They do give you a lot of protection as far as rocks and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, supposedly on the AT, nobody wears boots. Everybody wears, Keen sandals or running shoes or whatever. So, but.
Yeah, so one of the biggest obstacles we think that will keep us from making the AT would be our feet, if we stay injury-free and other issues. But our feet are really getting older. We have all kinds of stuff with our feet. You wouldn't believe the stuff with our feet.
Well, and when we were running, not that we ran a bunch of marathons, but when we were training to run the marathons that we did run, I mean, your feet are like, you got to just like...
I have arthritis in my big toes. Annette and I both have bunions, which is that big toe. And so the joint then starts pulling the toe in, so then it hits on the other toes, which then you have blisters and all kinds of problems with your feet. So we have had to do our solution. We decided that our motto is find solutions, not excuses. Because to be able to keep hiking and do what we love to do, we have to find solutions for absolutely everything so we can keep on doing it.
Yeah, because if you just look at my feet sometimes, I think, I probably should just elevate them and stay home. I mean,
yes,
really.
I know, they look terrible.
But
we use orthotics in our shoes. We've done that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Annette had a neuroma, which is a growth thing on one of her
and I had to have
tendons.
I had to have my not on my big toe, but whatever the toe next to it is called, this little piggy.
Yeah.
I had to have on both of my feet. I had to have that toenail removed.
2 toenails removed.
Probably because of the bunion that is pushing my big toe towards those toes and making it hit. And then it kept getting a blister up underneath the toenail. That was just every
hike, Nettie
every
would
long
lose those
hike or run.
toenails.
So I finally just said,
take them off.
I got to lose these toenails. And it has been like miraculously better. I mean, I recommend it. I mean, getting those toenails pulled out was a great thing.
We seek solutions for our feet all the time. And so a little bit of what we bring with us.
We have these blister gel guard Band-Aids, which if you do get a blister, are amazing.
They stick
and
on.
So here's what I have found to be the key to blisters. You put the Band-Aid on, you can even put moleskin over it. Do not touch it. Leave it for days. Leave it till it falls off. Don't be doctoring your feet. Don't be like putting it on and taking it off to see how it looks. And put it on and totally, that's it. Because when you start messing with them, then you injure the tissue around the thing, and pretty soon you've got hell on wheels there to do.
So I had to figure out for myself what works for me shoe-wise. And I figured out a while ago that boots were not my thing. They just didn't work for me. So I started using trail running shoes that worked well. I initially tried to go with a really hard, stable sole shoe, thinking that would be better hiking, but they ended up not working as well as I thought. So I, in the past couple of years, have switched to this. This is a Hoka running shoe, Hoka. I like the design of it. For one, it's really cush, so it's not real hard sole, but it's real thick, so it protects my foot from rocks and things that I'm stepping on. I don't feel any of that, and it's real cush. But I also like the design of the toe. The toe kind of rocks up, and I have arthritis in my toe joints. So this really seems to take the bend out of my toe a lot more, and it just kind of rolls it. So that seems to help my toe joints a lot too. And then the other thing you try to find the combination of what sock works with what shoe or boot you're wearing. And I have been using these right socks for quite a few years. And they're real thin. It kind of goes with a running shoe type situation. And they have the two layers, so it helps with friction, it helps with blisters, and it seems to work really well. So this is what I'm going to do as I start out on the AT. This is my plan with my orthotic. And Annette's is a little different.
Okay, I'm still in the I don't know what I'm going to do for sure mode, but I love boots. I love hiking in boots. So I might go with the heavier, they're not heavy boots, but it's heavier than a running shoe. But it gives you that much support around your ankles, because I pronate really badly, so sometimes I feel better in a boot. It has a really nice toe box. It's tall and it's wide, and my foot just feels super comfortable in there. So I might go with the boot. I like to use just a nylon sock for a sock liner. You can either buy sock liners, or you can buy men's nylon socks or whatever. And then Patagonia makes a wool sock that is a really tight weave, really smooth wool sock that I love. I would just marry one of these and we'd run away to Peru together or something. But Patagonia wool socks are fabulous. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go perhaps with the lightweight hiking boot and sock liner and wool sock. That's my thought on the whole thing.
And everybody has to figure out what works for them.
With my orthotic, of course, which is in there.
And getting the right size boot is critical too.
Yes, and the right size shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you get them big enough.
Yes, because when you're going downhill, your toe jams in there, and then you get those sore toes.
And your feet, when you're hiking, especially when you're hiking long distances, your feet swell because they get hot. They get tired. They get, That's another good point, is to buy big enough shoes.
Yep. And use them before you start hiking.
Yeah, a lot.
And that's what it looked like. Actually, it looks a little bit better today.
I think it's just wait a minute. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's, how you pull it apart.
Yeah.
Get the corners.
It looks sort of.
Cold water feels great, though.
Yeah, it does. The orthotics, the shoe, the socks all make a difference. And then we found these.
These are toe spacers. They're little.
Here's one.
They're made by Petafix. I ripped off the thing because I had it packed in my little thing.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's like one of these little gel things.
And you stick it here. I'll put my other foot up here. My good foot. Right
we have been using these. So I used to do. So I saw an.
Here's my big bunion right here, and it's from your toe moving this way, right?
Let me get the close up of that because it's just unbelievable.
It is kind of ugly.
All right, see that big bunion thing sticking out right there, and then here's Annette's toe with no toe. We should have warned you.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty graphic, but it just tells you what we have to go through.
Let me have that toe spacer.
Okay, so let me see if I can videotape it.
Okay,
how that
so when
goes.
you wear these toe spacers, they're really easy. You just stick them in between.
Let me see if I got it on there like that.
The big toe and that first toe, and it realigns this toe so that it's straight. It's straightening them up.
And this one with the bunion will curl under it, and you get blisters. So this keeps it separated, and it keeps that toe from curling under, and it keeps it lined up.
Even with the toe spacer, I was still having problems with that before I removed that toenail. I don't know if I lift my toes up in my shoe or something, but anyway.
Yeah.
Which could be.
Yeah.
So anyways, toe spacers, and you can buy them at the grocery store,
Walgreens. I find them at Walgreens.
Yeah, Walgreens. And
they have little skinnier ones that can go between the other toes. And they also have a sleeve.
They have a little sleeve you can slide on your, like if you have one of those little toes, like I'm kind of getting one, but it's not bad. If your little toe kind of rolls out, like
Lynn
Lynn
has that, and then she tried that sleeve thing on her.
So she puts a little sleeve or a smaller gel thing in between there, and then that works great too. So, but these things we've been wearing. I think Christy was going to.
I saw an acupuncturist for hot flashes.
And Christy asked her about her feet, and she's like, "Oh."
I asked her to fix my feet. She said, "Go to Walgreens and get that toe spacer." And we've been using them ever since.
We swear by them; they are excellent, and they're what, like $3 for a pack of 2 or something.
And then I always have a ton of moleskin, and moleskin is just real sticky. So if you get a blister, you could put your blister guard on, or if you get a hot spot, as soon as you get a little hot spot on your foot, you should stop and doctor it so it doesn't turn into a blister. So moleskins.
I mean, if you have the right sock and shoe combinations, sock and boot combination, you can go for years without having a blister, which is awesome. But then sometimes, like if you're hiking in super wet conditions, so that your socks and your boot and your shoe or whatever are wet constantly, your skin turns into that white dead looking stuff, and then you can end up with some blister stuff from that. So it's always good to have stuff.
And that's another thing is when you get to camp, then you dry your feet out. Get your wet socks, shoes off. You have a pair of camp shoes. Get your feet dried out.
Yeah, or even
really nurture your feet. We also do huge stretches. I mean, we have all these foot stretches. The foot roller that we use.
We